Everyone knows her voice, but nobody knows her full story. A teenage girl from the Philippines walked into a London audition with nothing but raw talent. That girl was Lea Salonga. What happened next changed everything. She walked out as the lead of Broadway's biggest show, and never looked back. From Broadway, Disney came calling, the voice of Princess Jasmine and Mulan. Then the Tony Award at 20, the first Asian woman in history to ever win it, the White House stage, 25 million albums, an $18 million net worth. But behind every spotlight, there were battles nobody saw coming. A marriage that fell apart, a family secret faced with love, and a private life far more powerful than any stage. The real story starts now. February 22nd, 1971. Angeles City, Pampanga, Philippines. Lea Salonga was born into a plain, ordinary family. They had no money, no connections, nothing around her that pointed to the world stage. But she could sing. And from the time she was very small, everyone around her knew it. Before she finished elementary school, she was already performing in professional theater productions, not school plays, but full stage shows. She stood beside trained adult actors and matched them. At age 10, she recorded her first album called Small Voice. It went gold. That was rare for anyone. For a Filipino child in the early 1980s, it was almost impossible to believe. At that time, no Filipino artist had reached the international stage. There was no path, no example to follow, no one who had done it before. Lea had no map, but she had something that would take her further. Discipline, a natural talent, and a deep desire to grow. That desire was about to take her to London. In 1989, in London's West End, Lea Salonga was 20 years old. She had been cast as Kim in Miss Saigon, one of the biggest musicals in the world. It was already a massive success. What Lea brought to it was different. She became the character. When the show moved to Broadway in 1991, the recognition came quickly. Lea won the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical, the highest honor in American theater. She became the first Asian performer in history to receive it. This was the most competitive award on Broadway, and a Filipino woman from Pampanga won it. She also won the Drama Desk Award, the Outer Critics Circle Award, and the Theater World Award, all for one role, all in the same year. Lea was not done. Her voice was about to reach somewhere no stage could hold. That place was not a stage, it was a recording studio in Burbank, California. What came next would change everything. Disney was making Aladdin, the film the world was waiting for. They needed a voice for Princess Jasmine, a voice that could carry a generation. They called Lea Salonga. Then, in 1998, they called again, this time for Fa Mulan in Mulan. 2 films, 2 princesses, 1 Filipino voice. The question was simple. Would the world accept her? It did, completely. These films reached hundreds of millions of children on every continent, translated into dozens of languages, played in living rooms for decades. For an entire generation, Lea's voice was Jasmine. Lea's voice was Mulan. Children grew up not knowing her name, just knowing that sound, and they never forgot it. In 2011, Disney finally said it out loud. They named Lea Salonga a Disney legend. The only Filipino in history to receive it. Broadway made her famous. Disney made her forever. She was still not finished. So where did the money actually come from? It wasn't one big deal, a lucky break, or a viral moment. 4 streams ran simultaneously for 4 decades. First, the stage, Broadway contracts, West End runs, international tours, active income, high caliber, year after year, then recordings. Over 25 million albums sold across Asia. CDs, digital, streaming, royalties that kept arriving long after the work was done. Then, Disney. Every time Aladdin streams, she earns. Every time Mulan sells a ticket, she earns. Every theme park, every merchandise license, every new generation discovering those films for the first time. That income never stops. It cannot stop. The characters are immortal. And then, real estate. A residence in an upscale Manila neighborhood. A property in Las Vegas. Assets that grow while she sleeps. Celebrity net worth puts her at $18 million. Other estimates reach $20 million. The number has been climbing for years. The number doesn't tell you how she protected it. Most celebrities build wealth while they're young. Then they watch it disappear. Lea Salonga did something different. She built quietly, deliberately, one careful decision at a time. At 55, Broadway was still calling her. Concert stages across Asia were still filling because of her. Disney was still sending royalties for films made before some of her fans were born. She had sold over 25 million albums in Asia alone. She held real estate in Manila and the United States. She had diversified through theater, recordings, television, and touring. She was not chasing any single bet, but quietly stacking returns across all of them. The current estimate sits at $18 to $20 million. The number misses the point. Her wealth was never tied to her youth or her looks. It was tied to artistry, reputation, and a catalog of work that kept compounding year after year. That changes everything. At 55, she was not declining. She was still actively accumulating, and that revealed something about how she actually lived. She had $18 to $20 million. She did not buy a yacht. While celebrities with half her net worth were posting supercar photos and hiring Instagram photographers, Lea Salonga was doing something unusual. She was protecting her instrument. Vocal coaches, dietary discipline, rest schedules are built around performance. Thousands are spent annually, not on luxury goods, but on keeping her voice at peak condition. Lea understood what most celebrities never do. The voice was the asset, everything. The Broadway contracts, the Disney royalties, the sold-out concert tours, all of it came from one source. She was not going to let it deteriorate for the sake of looking rich on social media. Her homes in Manila and the United States were warm and stylish, music rooms, libraries, comfortable spaces for creating and entertaining. Not mansions built for attention. A good steak, a gaming session, a well-made watch. That was enough. She did not need to prove anything to anyone, and that security would be tested soon. For 20 years, she kept her marriage largely private. Robert Charles Chen is a Chinese-Japanese managing director in entertainment software. They met during Flower Drum Song in 2004, married in January of that year, and built a family together. Their daughter Nicole Beverly was born in 2006. Then came January 2026. A TikTok interview and a plain-spoken acknowledgement that they had been separated for some time. No press release, no dramatic statement, no headlines designed for attention. Just Lea Salonga, speaking plainly about reality. She was happy he had found someone new. She described their co-parenting as cooperative and caring. She did not frame the separation as a tragedy. She did not play the victim. She did not trash the father of her child. More than 2 decades of marriage ended with grace. It was the same discipline she had applied to her career, the same refusal to perform emotion for an audience. But then a reporter asked about her child, and that answer changed everything. The interview wasn't over. Then someone asked about Nicole. Her 19-year-old child, who now goes by Nick, is a transgender man. And when the question came, Lea Salonga did not hesitate. She did not qualify. She did not perform uncertainty for an audience that might disagree. She used his name. She used his pronouns. She said he was happy, and that his happiness was what mattered. For a woman of her generation, with a global audience that includes deeply conservative communities across Asia, this was not a small thing. She was choosing her son over her public image. She was saying, "My relationship with this person matters more than the criticism I might receive." She described the co-parenting arrangement as cooperative, with herself, Robert, and his new partner all working together in the service of Nick. This was a reconfigured family, held together by maturity. She was just being his mother. And by 2026, that was everything. She performed at a White House state dinner in 2023. 53 years old, one of the most prestigious stages in American life, sharing a room with a sitting president, with diplomats and heads of state, with the full weight of that audience behind her. And she belonged there completely. This is what sustained relevance looks like when it is built on artistry rather than youth. Lea Salonga does not need social media engagement spikes to get booked. She does not need to reinvent her image every 2 years. She needs only to sing. She continues to tour internationally, she continues to appear on major stages, and soon she will receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the first Filipino artist ever honored there. This is a statement, not a tribute or a farewell. She has spent a lifetime breaking barriers without announcing them. The Walk of Fame simply makes it official. The question now is not how much she has built. It is what it all means. Here is the argument her life makes. You do not need to compromise to build something that lasts. She enjoys steak. She still games. She talks about vocal care and long-term thinking. She is not consumed by fame. She has simply been sustained by it. And for every young Filipino artist staring at the gap between where they are and where they want to be, her life offers a single clear answer. Excellence is enough. Discipline is enough. Showing up for decades, for the work, is enough. That is the legacy. That is what it all means. Here is the twist that changes everything. Lea Salonga's greatest achievement is not the Tony Award, nor the Disney roles, nor the $18 to $20 million net worth, nor the Hollywood Walk of Fame star, nor the White House performance. It is that she proved another path exists. You can be a global icon without being a social media personality. You can build wealth through excellence instead of exploitation. You can navigate the entertainment industry, break every barrier, and keep your integrity, all at the same time. She didn't build this through a single deal or a viral moment. She built it through 4 decades of relentless, high-caliber work, strategic investments, and a refusal to compromise what mattered. So ask yourself, what separates Lea Salonga from the thousands of equally talented artists who never reached her level of success? It wasn't luck. It wasn't timing. It wasn't being in the right room at the right moment. It was the decision to build something that lasts. That blueprint is available to everyone. If Lea Salonga's story made you rethink what success actually means, like subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. She's proof that excellence is enough. Discipline is enough. Authenticity over decades builds something no shortcut ever could. Drop a comment. What's her biggest lesson for you?